spine until you are open at the knee. So 2 more times. Inhale from here. Collarbones wide. Keep it back. Exhale down. So you move through each bone of the spine until your fingers are touching the ground. So you allow your knees to bend so there's no tension in the legs. Exhale, going up. Scooping the abs. Rolling through the spine and moving through each vertebra. Okay? One more time. Inhale and exhale down. Let's feel all of the engagements that we need to feel, the abdominals and the legs. Exhale, going up. Opening your chest out. Okay, good. So now let's lie down on our carriage facing the ceiling. And then let's just keep our headrest flat. Let's leave some space between our shoulders and the blocks. Okay, so maybe 1 or 2 inches of space. Let's scoot forward so that there's space there. And then have your feet at hip distance only. Not too far from the body. You should be able to push yourself up into our shoulder bridge. First, let's find our neutral position here. Arms on the sides, finding your collarbones, and your pubic bone should be flat at the top. So check that position. You should feel that there's only a natural arch in the back, and your spine should not be pressed out all the way. Okay, for Q, we inhale. As we exhale, we draw our pubic bone in, flatten the spine, we squeeze the abs, and then we push through the feet and articulate to the ceiling with our hips through the shoulders. Okay, find that line. Stay there first. Hamstrings are pulling. Inner thighs are still active to maintain that same distance between the knees. The arches of the feet will not be lifting from the floor. Okay? Inhale from there. Exhale, going down. Scoop through the abs again. Roll down to each bone of the spine and then go back to your neutral position. Inhale. Exhale up. Start with the imprint. Draw in and roll up. Okay, think about peeling yourself off from the mat. Keeping your knees squeezed together. Exhale to slowly go down. Okay. Let's do one more time. And exhale, rolling up. And then we'll stay here at this top position. So we're going to lift the right leg up to tabletop. So let's stabilize the left. Lift the right. Point that leg up to the ceiling and point the foot. Okay. Now keeping the hips up. Do not let the hips drop. We exhale to lower the right leg down. Point to the mirror, and then inhale to lift up to the ceiling again. For 2, inhale. And for 3, exhale down, inhale up. 4, and up. Let's do one more for 5. Exhale and inhale. Now point the foot, bend the knee, and then plant the foot down. Okay, let's keep our position. Let's stay up. Left leg comes up to tabletop now and points to the ceiling. And we begin. Exhale down, inhale up. 1. For 2, and up. For 3, up, 4, and up, and 5, and up, bend the knee, and then plant the foot down, and then let's exhale to roll our spine. Okay, let's go down to our lying position. Okay, right leg up to tabletop, left leg up to tabletop. Let's hold the sides of our carriage with your hands, grip the bed to keep yourself a bit more stable. Okay, and then squeeze the legs together. No space between the legs and feet are pointed. Thighs are squeezing 90 degrees on the hips and the knees. Okay, now let's flatten our spine. Let's imprint. Let's make sure there's no space under the lower back. Okay, if you want to draw the legs in a bit closer, that's fine. From here, we act as if our legs and our hips are one structure, and then we roll them all to the left side. Halfway down until you feel that stretch on your obliques on the right side. Exhale and roll back to center, keeping your spine in that imprint. Inhale to the right. And exhale. Squeeze the legs together, no space between the legs, and continue alternate sides at your own pace. So as you twist from side to side, don't let your back arch. You maintain engagement in the abs to keep your spine just flat. Just a let imprint. Okay, so don't go down too far. Only go down as far as you can keep your stability. Last 4. Exhale back. And for 2, exhale back to center. And last one, inhale and exhale. Okay, now keep the right leg in tabletop. Left leg goes down, straightens out, as in flat, pointed to the mirror. Now keep this leg engaged and heavy. Now the right leg is up and then straightens up to the ceiling. Now try to point that leg all the way up. Squeeze your thighs, okay? And then flex the foot. Okay, from here we draw circles with that leg. We start by dropping the leg to the inside, to the midline, circle back out, and back to the starting position. And again, for 2. So alternate breaths here. Inhale and circle in. Exhale and circle in. Inhale, circle in. Exhale, circle in. Okay, let's do 2 more. And last one. Okay, point the foot, bend the knee, and then slide the leg down. Okay, so we won't do the reverse, let's do the other side. Okay, so before we lift the other leg, make sure to keep everything, using every part of your body that's touching the bed to make yourself stable. The arms, the other leg, and the abdominals. Okay, now left leg up, tabletop. Point the leg up to the ceiling and then flex the foot. So we circle in, inhale. And then we circle out. Sorry, incorrect, but exhale. Inhale in, and exhale in. Okay, 4 more. Inhale in, exhale in. Make it big, make it quick. Last 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, point the foot, bend the knee, and then slide the leg down. Okay, so we squeeze our legs together. We do one last movement for this warm. Legs are now both straight, both extended, both pointed to the mirror, and then squeeze your inner thighs to bring your legs together. So now the arms are pointed up, palms facing in, and then shoulders are pulled back. Okay, so let's do this step by step. We're going to roll up, but first we're going to find our chest lift. So we lower the arms, and then the head will follow up. Chest will follow up. Let's stop here for a minute. The arms are pointing to the mirror. Only the chest is up. The back is in an increase. The head is looking forward. We exhale to roll up. Pull yourself to me, to the mirror. Breathe out. Lifting the legs if you can. Okay. Keep your C curve and then bring your head over the knees. Now from here, we inhale. We exhale to roll down. Pull back, scoop the abs. Roll through each bone of the spine. Find your chest lift before you lift and lower the chest. Okay? Again, inhale to lift. Exhale to roll forward. Try to move through each bone of your spine, going up and going down. Okay? Keeping that curve. Inhale and exhale to roll down. Okay, last 2. Inhale and lift. And exhale to roll up. So make sure you use that abdominal engagement to come up. Inhale and exhale to roll down. Slowly. Okay, send your tail roll down, lower back, rib cage, and the chest. Okay, last one. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll up. Arms are pointed forward. Inhale and exhale slowly down. And then lower the chest, lower the arms, and then we rest for 2 breaths. And inhale, and exhale. Okay, so now let's stand up. And then let's move on to our first series. Let's have the foot bars 2 levels up, and then keep everything attached. So not changing anything in the springs. And the foot bars up. Have your headrest lifted, yes you can, as long as the back of your neck remains lengthened. Okay, so now let's slide up again. Now stick your shoulders to the blocks and put your feet on the bar. Let's have your feet hip distance apart. So now you stick your shoulders back. Okay. Hip distance apart on your heels. And then we find our neutral position. So arms are at the sides, back of the neck is lengthened, collarbones are wide, and neutral spine. So your pelvis should be flat, parallel to the ground at the top. There should be that natural arch under your lower back. Okay, so now we flex the feet. Both feet point up to the ceiling without curling the toes. And then we maintain that position as we push out. So we inhale and we exhale to push out. Okay, so as you push out, you soften your ankles just enough to maintain your foot at the same position. And then you inhale to return, go back to that start. And at your own pace, go ahead, exhale out. Inhale, so the reason why we relax the ankles as we push out is to activate our hamstrings a lot more than the quadriceps, so that we protect our knees when we straighten the legs. So when we go to that lengthened position of the legs, your knees should not be locking. They should be staying safe. Good stuff, Jim. Watch out this one. When your legs are straight, they should not be locking because your hamstrings are working, even at the end range. Okay, let's do 3 more. And then for most of the class, let's do it at your own pace. Make sure you are stable and you have good alignment. 1 more. And slowly. Okay, now let's slide down to your toes on the bar. Okay, still at hip distance. And then now let's lift the heels up halfway, just halfway up. Okay, not too high, not too low. And then keep your weight on the big toes, on the center of the feet. Sorry, on the inside of the feet. Okay, so from here you push through the foot. You exhale out, straighten the legs. Now hold it there first. Let's fully straighten the legs and lift the heels up as high as you can go. And then as we bend, we soften our ankles just enough to maintain that height of the heels. Continue. And then exhale out. Inhale, return. So imagine you are articulating through the ankle joint. The heels are not lifting up and down. They are staying in the same position. Only the legs will be moving. Only the carriage will be moving. As you push out, you lift the heels. As you bend, you relax the knees. Try to maintain hip distance with the knees and keep your neutral spine. Last 2. And turn. Okay, last 1. Let's go back. Let's push out again. Let's hold our legs straight. Okay, and then keeping our heels up, let's bring our heels together into a V shape. There you go. Now keeping the heels up, we maintain that height. Inhale to bend and articulate through our ankle. Continue. Exhale out. Inhale back. Squeeze your heels together. Don't let your heels come apart. And only open your knees to shoulder width, not too wide. Okay. So this time the inner thighs are more involved with the movement, especially at that end range again, at that fully straight position. Okay, let's do 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. And last one. Now let's push out, hold the legs straight, open up the heels again to parallel. Okay, and then keeping our hamstrings engaged to keep the knees stable, let's push both of your heels under the bar slowly, very slowly until you feel that full stretch. And then you push out. Okay, so you inhale, go under, exhale, go over. Okay, so you need to rest, simply bend your knees and allow the air to come back and continue. But if you can, finish the series strong, okay? Exhale out, inhale back, let's do 10 more. So don't let the heels come together, keep the heels open. Notice you're pressing on the big toes, the inner part of the